In 3, 2, 1. Konnichiwa, mi gente, and we are back. We are back once again with another episode on season 5 of the Shinobi Unfolding podcast. I'm your boy Jay Aigala, and as you can see in front of you, we have, or those who are hearing, we have the three out of the 4 of Kages here tonight from season 3 and 4. We have JL, we have Roland or OMK.
What's good, everyone?
And we also got the professor.
Hey guys.
And guys, how's it been since our last season? Things been good for you guys? Things been great, bad? Any changes?
A whole new world, I guess. You know.
Yeah, that's deep. That is.
I know.
It's a whole new world.
Why did I expect that?
I didn't say anything in the intro, so I had to come in some way. Bro, it's season 5. We back.
Yes, we are back.
Facts are back.
And we want to thank also everybody who's been listening and watching us on the YouTube and all of the audio podcasts. As you guys know, our podcasts are posted on Sundays for the audio and for the YouTube. We're switching it from Tuesday to Wednesday because I need time. Okay. I need time for this.
Things take time to process.
I'm not going to front. It's not easy, but it's fun. But it's not easy. So
much respect to Jay, man.
Thank you, brother.
Man, stays at it.
Absolutely.
I'm trying. But with that being said, guys, since season 4, which was about maybe 5-6 months ago, since we did the my bad school, but
life.
Marriage. It feels like it's been 3 years since we were all in the same room.
It does, man. It feels like it's been way too long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking it since you brought that up. Once everybody feel comfortable, right? There are friends who do have studios who are willing to let us in and do it in person. So, don't have to carry no equipment, none of that. We just go to the location, sit down, record, have a good laugh, have a few drinks if we want, water for the young kids, and water, and just kick it. So that is coming up real soon. So
that sounds dope.
So if you guys really feel comfortable in doing it in person, you could definitely schedule something up for a future episode for sure. But 3 years in person, 5-6 months since we did the episode 4 season finale. What anime you guys been watching real quick, or what's been going on, or personally in your life? Let's start with Professor.
As far as anime, I think we took a break right before Jujutsu Kaisen started getting really, really good, right? And that was probably by far one of the best animes, season 1 that I watched in a while, in a couple of years. Amazed by it. There's a couple of other things there's a couple of other things here and there. The part 1 of the last season of Attack on Titan 2, dude, we haven't talked about that, and I that's gonna be for another day. But yeah, I mean, those are the 2 big ones that I just couldn't get enough of in the last 5 months.
All right, OMK.
Honestly, haven't been watching much, but I have been watching this new anime called Tokyo Revengers.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if any of you guys checked it out.
Scott recommended it on the last episode.
Yeah.
On 3 episodes, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty caught up. I think I'm 1 behind, so it's pretty decent. It's real quick. It's just about a kid who has to go back in time, basically, because someone passes away that he wants to save, but time travel always gets tricky, and that's why I enjoy time travel anime, because there's just so much to it. I'm going to talk about a character later, but so it's just a really good anime. If you have the time to check it out, and it's from the new season, so definitely check it out. Crunchyroll, I don't know if anywhere else is.
No, it is Crunchyroll, but I just like the full circle that's how Scott ended the episode, and that's how you started this episode. It's just like circle of life. It's just beautiful. It's just poetic. I love it. And J.O.
As you can see the shirt, One Piece has been my saving grace as far as steady week-to-week anime. Toei is doing a great job keeping pace from the manga, but still keeping pace with it. I think they've been doing a 1.5 issue per episode kind of episode. So they're doing a lot of work. The Wano arc is amazing. The music, the style, and the battle that's about to be animated and everything that's happening in the manga is just so mind-blowing. And Oda still has so much to give the fan base that the fact this arc is 10% of the entire collection of One Piece itself, that's how big it is. And it's been going on for 4 years. Yeah. The Wano arc itself. Yeah.
It's only 10%.
This one arc is 10% of the entire One Piece series. That's how big it is. It's the biggest arc ever. That's how it's a chunk of like almost 1,000 episodes. Take 10%. It's over 100 episodes just for one arc.
If you guys are hearing this right now, my mind just was it was just like exploded when he said
Oda is setting up the biggest end game in anime. He's come out to say that he's drawing the craziest war that's ever been illustrated in manga, and it is about to be something. And he may not even be around for it to finish, but he's going to set all the things going forward right now. Like Wano is crazy, I'm telling you. It is a good time to be alive and a good time to get on One Piece. If you haven't got the marriage with it, leave your wife, get on this train, and just get going with it. That's not to the professor.
Don't leave your wife.
It's like 1-800 get divorced.
Don't increase the numbers.
And presses A on One Piece episode 1. Yeah, I'm still so into it. I know I've been watching for a long time, and I'll always say it. It just has a special place in my heart. So that's been my thing since the break. A couple other animes here and there. Dr. Stone season 2 was dope. That wrapped up, and my girlfriend caught up with that. You guys talked about Mugen Train. Completely agreed with all the opinions there. So yeah.
I mean, any insight of that the movie personally? Since you guys,
absolutely.
All right.
I agree with Scott with his not with his rating, but his opinion. As far as the CG use, I think Professor brought up Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I bring up Studio Mappa. And although Mappa has been looked at kind of weird in the past couple of weeks for reasons I may or may not get into later, they have been cranking out great animation as far as the studio. They did the Attack on Titan season, which I personally loved it. Like the way it mixed in with the art of that show and how intense that the time is inside that moment in that anime. It just needed that. If you drew that hand drawn, it would have been dope. It would have been epic. But the way that the camera angles were, and the same way it worked in the Demon Slayer movie, I don't mind it at all. I did mind the tentacles. I thought that it was just too much. They were definitely doing a lot of slicing and dicing that we could have just skipped along and got to some other stuff. Maybe made the Rengoku fight a little longer. RIP to the GOAT. It was great overall. I'll give it the same rating that Lou gave it. Lou gave a lot of good insights on the art as well. Completely 100% agree with everything you guys said in the episode. Yep. Yeah.
Anybody else want to throw their insight of the movie? Have you seen it?
I have not watched it yet. I watched the last episode, and I'm just waiting. I kind of knew what was going to happen, so like nothing got spoiled, but I just haven't had the time. That's
like reading the manga, or
last episode, watching your video of the podcast.
Oh, the podcast. Gotcha.
I was actually reading the manga up to the point where the tentacles become a thing, so I had no idea really what was going to ensue when he became one with the train. But when I saw it happen, I was just like, man, I kind of wish I read this first, just so I could have set myself up for it. Because then when it happened, I was just like, oh, here we go, all this nonsense. But it was still a great movie. And the best part was it was my first time back at the theater, probably for a bunch of others. And I love going back to the theater. I mean, that was my place. The Avengers, Marvel, big titles, like going to the movies was something I did with my dad, and going back to the theater with my roommate and my girlfriend. It was just such a dope time to walk back into the theater and see the people getting popcorn and sitting down, and then the audio coming in. It's just such a dope feeling to be back in there. So another saving grace for Demon Slayer.
Talking about that, like if that was like your first time going back to the theater, like my first time was during the pandemic, and I went to watch the Tenet movie on the screen. And
I tried watching half of that movie, like going to sleep the past.
No, Christopher Nolan is a freaking genius. That's all.
Because I don't know what's 100%.
He's a beast.
I have not watched it yet, but I know, I'm sure that it's a great movie, but I haven't watched it.
Go ahead, one.
No, I just have not watched Tenet yet. It's on my list, actually. Somebody asked me the other day, somebody asked me the other day, can you recommend a movie? And I'm like, I don't think I watched any fucking movies in the last year except for like
anything Christopher Nolan's. That's what would be my response.
like because I missed it going to the theater. I love going to the theater, and so I haven't really watched anything big like that. Like I have it on.
Dude,
on
just think of the Dark Knight
series. I know, and Memento, and he did so many other movies that are so good. Like he's
Inception.
He's great, but I have no idea what the movie's about.
And another movie also I saw on theaters as well was the new Mutants. That was like a chronicle to the X-Men story, and God, I wish I had my money
that
back.
movie was made like 5 years ago, and the studio was trying to like bury it. They never wanted to release it.
So I rented that movie on like a random day where I was staying home.
Bro, I took a girl on a date for that movie. I was
no.
Yeah.
No.
I fell asleep.
Damn.
It was
that's a bad movie.
It was just a Twilight, guys. The New Mutant is just a Twilight series for Marvel, but
it didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen.
Thank you. It should never ever happen. But hey,
they were just trying to find a peaceful place to take a nap. So he's going.
They inherited that movie already in progress once they bought Fox. That's how it happened. So they chopped it up to at least kind of make sense and get it out there and get some return on the money, but they lost completely. But they're gonna get their money back.
Let's see, because we are about to get the Black Widow movie. It's about to
4 movies this year. 4 movies.
What else is coming in roster?
Eternals. You got Black Widow. You have Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange is next year.
The 10 Rings.
That's right. Shang-Chi. Yes. It's Shang-Chi. That's how you say it. Excuse me.
Shang-Chi and the 10 Ring. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Boom. Wow. I didn't know we had like cinematics.
Marvel's coming hard.
You know how Marvel goes.
Critiques we have up in here. I love this. Oh, okay. Appreciate that. But with all serious note now, seeing that, we mentioned One Great Legend of finishing a big battle for One Piece. The anime community did lost a great warrior, a great entrepreneur, we could say, and I lost my notes. Cool. It just disappeared. Okay. The world lost the creator of an amazing anime for a lot of people who enjoy the dark, gruel, old time type of fighting scene with a little bit mystical stuff. That good stuff. All right. We have lost Kentaro Muura, the creator of Berserk. Just a quick moment of silence for our good fellow. All right. Now, I personally don't have a relationship with Berserk. Never was married to it. Never caught my attention. It was not my type of gal. But we do have a few people who are going to, say some kind words and what Berserk meant to them. I'm not sure if JL, if you want to
I'll start just because it's shorter and the other two know so much more. And I actually envy them because I know how hardcore of an anime it is. When I was first exposed to it, it was from renting the game from, I think it was either Hollywood Video or Blockbuster for Dreamcast a long time ago. And when I was playing it, I was like, wow, this guy's sword is huge. These guys are getting cut in half. There's a lot of blood. And he's just a badass. And that was like around the time Sonic Adventure was out. So the perspective of games back then, I mean, there were some bloody ones. We've had Mortal Kombat and Tekken and all that. But for a game to be based off of an anime, when I found that out as a kid, I was like, wow. So there's actually some video to this. And when I first saw it as a kid, I was like, I'm not ready for this. This is not what I need to be watching at the moment. Like there was times where my dad would try to buy me some games that were a little too mature. I was like, not yet. Give myself some time. I was very adultive when it came to the games I got, but knowing that Berserk is such a cult classic and like a main inspiration to probably many violent animes, and the dark mood of it, there's just nothing like it. Like there's going to be so many things to come in media that are going to use inspirations from that and still not even come close. And that is a very, very impressive thing for somebody to do, especially in writing. Just illustrating that dark mood alone and then bringing it to color. not an easy thing to do.
There you go. OMK.
I think Berserk for me was very important just because it was the first dark anime I've ever seen. Like it was just something I was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Everything else I watched at the time was like, fighting here and there, but no blood, none of that.
Mm-mm.
You see Berserk, and then you get this story too with all the betrayal. And you're like, yo, this shit is crazy. I'm thinking this as a teen. I'm like, this shit is crazy. Like, yo, this is nuts. But you're hooked, right? I'm like, yo, I need to know what happens. I need to know. And it's gonna be, we want more, but we won't be able to get it now because that's what, that's how good it was. Like you said, yeah, it was a cold classic. Like no matter what, it was something that we always wanted more of, even if the animation wasn't the best the second go around. But
And Professor?
For me, it's a little bit different than everybody else because I didn't start watching Berserk until the beginning of the pandemic. And like I watched the movies first, and then I went back and I watched. I started watching the original anime from the '90s and talking with Scott and Lou about they love Berserk, and especially Scott will be like, oh, don't watch the 2016 anime series, don't watch it, it's trash. And I try to watch it, and it was just it's really bad CGI. Going back to the conversations about CGI. Sometimes it's like 9 out of 10 times we're not happy with it, but when it's done well, my God, it can be really good. And it's kind of interesting how they handle his death. Apparently, I read earlier today that he passed away on May 6th, but they kept it only family members and friends knew about it. They didn't make it public. And I know last week they had announced Netflix is working on a movie version. I don't know if it's a continuation of Berserk, or if it's they're gonna try to reboot the whole story and start all over again to see how they could do it. But the manga for more than 20 years, right? Like if you know anybody who follows the Berserk manga, you would get like one chapter like every 6 months for the last 20 years. And so there's so many questions still from the beginning of the manga that have not been answered, or they kind of hint answers, and like the story is never gonna have an ending. And we knew that we was never gonna have a happy ending, but now it's never gonna have an ending, man. What we know is that God saved Casca, and that's about it. Like that's all. Like he was able to at least find her, make sure that she was well, but we don't know what else is gonna happen with Guts and Griffin and the God Hand and all those other things.
Do you think they'll pass that to somebody to continue?
I don't think that there are notes. That's the thing. And he worked on it. Like the guy had some health issues, and
great manga creators.
It also took so much time to make the manga. Like if you've only watched the movies or the anime, if you go back and you look at the manga, you're like, how do you even animate this? There's so much detail.
That's what I was saying. It's not an easy thing, and they did it in the 90s too.
And it's not even like right when you had to actually draw it. Not like now you have all these tablets and all these layer things, so you can back and fix their mistakes. But I don't think that he wrote the story. He was just going as one chapter at a time. And if you look at Berserk, you can take all the speech bubbles out, and it just looks like art.
Yeah.
Like you don't even need speech. Like you kind of get an idea what's going on with the way that he drew everything. It'll be. I know it'd be interesting if somebody else could take over, but I don't think that will happen for a while.
It'll be completely different too, because when the first series came out, it was very like the way animation was. It was like probably 4,000 pages per episode of drawings, and that's so many frames per second for almost. You wonder why they're not a half hour long, because they don't have time to do Mugen Train. You know what I mean? That takes a long time to draw. So if they brought it back to life now, I feel like it may be overly done and overly flashy to catch the crowds now. What's trendy? It sucks to say that you don't know the ending, but it kind of has to be, in a way, a tragic end to something like this, just because of the overall mood of the show and what he did. It maybe that's the way it should go, instead of someone trying to save it and then desecrating everything that he worked. I mean, there's no notes, you say. Who has a reference point beside what's already been done?
Actually, I was going to make a comment on that, because my hope is that he probably has a transcript on the side or on somewhere that they could just follow it to their best ability.
Was there going to be anything recent he did?
Huh?
Is there anything recent he did as far as like the manga?
There were still issues coming out. Like a couple of months ago. Like every 6 months, there'll be one new chapter out.
Oh, that's
I mean,
right. It
It's
was
just
over
that
like a
he
long
had been
span of
working for
time.
so long,
It's
and
a
he
long
just
game.
never got there, right? So it's not like if you think about like how many years he went for, you will think it's gonna be as big as One Piece, if not bigger, but it's
But it's
not,
not.
because he had
Yeah.
not been. It will take so much work for him. The quality
That's
never
what I'm
dropped.
saying. Will he really have that much left over for someone to look at? I understand what Jay's saying. Maybe he does have something,
He
but
has
is it enough? Like, what if there is still no ending because his health was
Ma-
so bad
ma-
he had no time?
Maybe there was a transcript somewhere, but like I know, like near the end of like the last few chapters that were released, Guts was still nowhere near strong to take any of those 5 guys down, because those
What?
5 guys from the
Really?
God Hand are like a complete different league. He was still
That's
fighting
wild.
other things, but I don't think that he was ready to take down like Griffin. I mean, I
Wow.
might be
Because
wrong.
that's all we want. That's all we want is the
Right.
revenge,
That's all
So
everybody
that's
wants.
what it
Just
is.
fucking Griffin, like have him die. But
Damn, I gotta.
I don't.
edit that.
I think something should have happened for him
Just
to get there.
blowing
Right?
Jay's mind all this episode.
No, it's not that. Is I just gotta do editing with the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't
There we go.
worry. But it is what it's fun. I would say is that I'm hoping for the best. I do want to end this session or part of this episode with what was said in his last interview. He said, I pray to succeed in finishing Berserk in my lifetime. When I started the series, I was less concerned with the ending than with the story, the telling a story that in any way would end sooner or later. But nowadays, I realize that life is not eternal. It is by taking of my health that I try to complete the series. So, in anyone's interpretation, we probably will see an ending, but it may not be as special since he won't be able to witness it being animated. So, RIP to the great one himself. Right. All right, that took a troll. Damn, but life move on, and one thing for sure is that
like the series killed him.
Did it? Because like
Hunter x Hunter did what to who? Like, come on.
I mean, again, we are born to die in a sense, but life without purpose, what I'm saying, is meaningless. And he gave a lot of people certain purpose and entertainment. He's
gonna be remembered 100 years from now, 200 years from now.
Of course, there's no way no one's not gonna watch Berserk somewhere down the line. Yeah, hell yeah.
I pray for my grandkids to watch Berserk because they probably are not going to be ready for certain things. Especially with those.
I pray One Piece is done by the time I have grandkids. All right.
That 10%.
I think it's got like 6 years left, but moving on.
Well, again, if those who are hearing this, Josh is mind blown. Jay is just mind blown right now. 6 more years. God damn. All right. So, before death came, something that we all went through is our teenage year. And as you guys may have heard, and those who are hardcore follower of the podcast, you guys know that me, Professor, OMK, and JL, we have one big common thing. And that is we went to the same high school here in Providence, Rhode Island. Shout out to the Mount Pleasant High School. Thank you for the education you gave us. But today's topic is a little bit different. Today's main topic is definitely talking about, since we are went to the same school and we have big fans of our anime as well, I thought it'd be fun just as an exercise to see if we could compare our high school experience, right, to an anime character. You know what I'm saying? Who would it be and why? You know what I'm saying? If you guys want, I could start off real quick and then we will pass the ball to the professor and then JL and then OMK. All right. So if back in high school, and I might throw a little photo of myself like right there of myself, 9th grade through 10th, I had no voice whatsoever. I was nobody. I was shy as hell. I didn't even want to be there because basically I was a nobody just at that time. Don't feel bad for me now. I'm a somebody now. But but during that time, I was really quiet. And when I was thinking of this exercise with this guy, the first person that came to mind was this one dude from My Hero Academia. And he was not the coolest. He didn't have the greatest power, but he definitely came in clutch. And do you guys want to take a quick guess? Or
Momo.
Nah, that's Babe. Even though we share the same birthday, but nah, I
Oh,
was
I
not
didn't mean
smart.
Momo. What's his face? The little tiny purple dude.
I was not a perv. I like some of the girls back in my, but I was not that like brave. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
I was
know.
not bold.
Anybody else got a guess? I don't know. I was only making jokes, but still.
No, of course, I loved it. All right, so the one character that I could compare to was Koji Koda, aka Anima. He's the dude that has the ability to talk to animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
back in high school, like I really could compare with that dude because he's in the background and he only come in clutch when it's like needed, like in the movies and also in the series. So and when I think about like high school too, like the moments that he spoke out, I realized I really was more out there, more like towards like the 11th and 12th grade, junior to senior, because that's when I started doing the drumming and people I got to be exposed and I had to like
Doing
express myself.
photography
Because of
the yearbook.
the yearbook. Yep, thank you. So that's when I really started to explore, and then I converted from being Koji Koda, from being this person from Darwin's Game, Kashiwagi Rain, the girl who has the ability to predict like the movement
Oh yeah. Yep.
of the attacker before it happens. So she was like what I ended up being, because I had to be strategic. I had to figure out how to balance the drumming with the school yearbook and all of that. Shout out to AJ, you know what I'm saying? He was like my right hand man, helping me out with all of that. He had like more shit to do than I did back in high school. So those are like the two enemy character I would pick. I know many of you would thought I would pick an OP and blah blah blah, but nah. Koda and Rain, those were
realistic choices.
Yeah.
If you can relate with them in any way, I mean, that's what the great characters are, especially in My Hero. God, there's so many support characters that are good lane characters.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick anybody out of a crowd and there's probably someone like them somewhere.
Yeah, and
every character in My Hero, it's like somebody's favorite character.
Yeah, exactly.
And my favorite one is Todoroki. Like that's my go-to guy. But in real life or back in high school, I was Koda. So I can't hide the facts. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So Professor, what animal character would you?
I was weird. I was gonna say like if you could see like a character, I was gonna joke around. I was gonna say I was gonna like Ichigo, because Ichigo's never in high school, bro. Have you noticed he was never there? Like that's never like a plot.
He's
like,
always in the other realm doing some
somehow. Yeah,
shit.
he shows up at the beginning. 5 minutes later, he's out, and nobody ever notices. That's how it was. Like the end of freshman year and sophomore year, I was barely in school. That's what I was thinking about. But yeah, I mean, like I think like high school, if you relate it to anything with anime, some of the way that they portrayed anime high schools are so different than the high school that we went to, and it's just because of culture, right? Mm-hmm. Different things in Japan. I remember when I watched Ranma 1/2. They have this scene that I really like in one of the episodes, where they're trying to show why there's this guy who sees Ranma as his nemesis, right? And he can't picture, like, what is it that I did to this guy? Like, I know I went to high school with him at some point. He's like, what did I do to him, right? And then they go back and, like, what he did for him was a lot of other countries, not in the United States, but, like, in other countries, when it's lunchtime, you have to buy your lunch. So you run and you get your food, right? Mm-hmm. And the tastiest things go out first. Mm-hmm. So in Ranma, the reason why he has a nemesis is because he will run and trip this guy over and he'll get the food first and the other guy will never get anything. But then, like, if you think about high school, our high school is a little bit like that. When we had lunch, everybody ran first to get like whatever was the tastiest thing, right? Which was like something that was not crawling or like glowing, right? Like, but that's basically what kind of like I remember about high school. I it was just kind of like, it's so different than in anime. In anime, you can go to all these clubs and there's funding and everybody has money, and you go in real life and it's like, what you wanna do after school programs? What?
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
do that.
I'm still surprised when Mike, shout out to Michael, when he said that they had an anime club during his time in high school. I'm like, what? You guys had the budget?
That's
What?
what's up.
It's crazy.
There was probably always a budget.
Yeah,
We just didn't know.
Somebody was stealing it, probably.
It's all going toward the
Facts.
fucking
Come on
cookies.
now. Facts.
Yeah, fun fact, I met with I met with a teacher from Mount Pleasant. You guys might know because he was like the father of one of our classmates, right? So when I was in college, and he's telling me that they hire a new guy to save money for the school, and he's like, his job is he's coming in and he's seeing how he can save electricity for the school if they spend so much in this special type of light bulbs and everything. And the whole budget, like what he was gonna save at the end of the year, was $60,000. And he's like, you know how much they pay that guy to do this work? He's like, $60,000. He's like, we didn't save any money. Like, this is. I feel like that's how it was in high school. Like a lot of things. It just.
Like a quick side note, when we started the drumming thing, right? Our equipment were 2 old drums back from the early 2000s, right? And we had to hustle our butts off in order to buy just one good snare drum and one good bass in order to be able to perform, which was not. People would think, oh yeah, drumline is like the most hype thing ever, blah blah. Country, nah, not in Mount Pleasant High School.
We were the only school. We were the only school in the state that had
majorettes.
Yeah, and we didn't have any drums.
It was just like, that's just a fun fact right there, guys.
Yeah.
Another fun fact: the wrestling team didn't have a budget till Sean Soriano won states, so credit to him.
Wait, during his freshman year? Oh, shout out to Sean Soriano.
I didn't know that.
You did your thing in the UFC. Wait, during his freshman year?
No, his junior, senior year. That's when he started to really get. Yeah, he didn't start till his sophomore year. I remember we were in class and he was like, he was asking about it. I was like, should you join? And Eli had always been pressuring him to join. He's a natural savage. The guy is so strong. God, I don't even know, man. I've been hit by him. It's not fun. Would never want to get hit by Sean Soriano. Love that guy.
So do you want to tell your story before we jump to?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. I know we're transitioning.
You're good.
Yeah. The conversation's just so fluid, you know.
It does.
I don't have a specific character to relate my high school experience to. I think there's just always that everybody envisions himself as a main character in some way, you know, regardless wherever you've been. It's just like that kind of character that always feels like they have to do things on their own, and then it takes them a while to realize that the full potential is drawn out by those around them. You know, I played a very solitary lifestyle for a long, long time during high school, before high school, a little after high school. And until I really started opening up the doors and realizing that, you know, I needed certain people around me. Like, this wouldn't have happened if, you know, we didn't start talking. You know what I mean? I could have remained in the dark and seen random posts from people and be like, you know, those are old high school friends, never going to talk to them. What do we have in common? Let alone look at this, you know? And I can remember a me that would probably ignore that, and he'd be like the brooding character that no one really gets along with for a while. You know, we were friends in high school, but no one was really close with me in a lot of ways. You know, I was very, very close about everything, and I can remember not really liking home, and I kind of enjoyed being in school, but when I went home, it kind of sucked. And unless I was playing video games online on Xbox at the time, I wasn't really doing much, you know. So it was that kind of lifestyle. And then, you know, the wrestling team happened. That was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, because I still carry that discipline to this day. And now doing fitness and all that, and then the fit stream, being able to bring people together is just such a good and gratifying feeling, and to be able to give something back to them, you know. So in the end, the main character ends up kind of shining. He has a bunch of friends around him, and the end goal isn't as hard as it should be. as it seemed previously, you know. So I'm just the kind of character that has now realized that the people around me make me that much more powerful.
But who would be that avatar?
I hate to say fucking Naruto, excuse my language. I just, you know, I mean,
Edit, don't worry.
Yeah, it gets me mad because he's the only one I can picture because he was shunned a lot, and then people like Roland and his brothers and his people stood up for me in moments where I couldn't stand up for myself. This shit's different now. Obviously, I'll stand up for anybody. I got in trouble eventually, learning that from them, standing up for others. And it was crazy when I went home how I was looked at as like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't get involved in other people's business. I don't think. Did you have an art class with me? Do you remember? Do you have? No, not Mr. Perry.
R.I.P. to Mr. Perry.
R.I.P. indeed. It was an older lady. She looked like a porcelain collector's doll.
Oh, I know that lady. Yeah, she was like super skinny. She looked like a ballerina.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I got her fired because she was acting completely racist to Carlos Castillo, who we all know. And shout out to him. That's one of my boys for life. She was just picking on him out of nowhere, and I was actually in the wrong, just like he was in the similar thing. Whatever was going on in class, I remember being wrong too. But she wasn't calling me out for it. I was like, I did the same thing. Why aren't you saying anything to me? She was like, why don't you mind your business? I was like, no, that's wrong. And it ended up being a conversation outside, you know. So tend to be the person that was, you know, standing up for somebody that wouldn't really stand up for themselves at some point either, because others stood up for me. And now, you know, later on in life, you end up passing that on to others. So lessons learned from good friends, you know, could not be anything without my support system.
I mean, you could have went. I was gonna say Asta, but then I'm like, nah, Naruto is definitely like the right fit. Unfortunately,
yeah.
You hate it, but it is what it is.
You can't pick Goku because no one else helps except him and
he
Vegeta.
Never went to school.
Exactly, even worse.
I don't think he can know how to write, bro.
He just knows how to throw. He just knows how to throw those hands. That's it.
That's it.
Nothing
That's
else.
Like, that's funny.
Nothing else.
Damn, I did not know about that. I don't know who she is, but
I didn't know that story.
Yeah, I don't know who that teacher
was. I was kind of
yeah.
like curious why I didn't see her anymore. I had her in my freshman year, and she did say some really dumb things. Like she was like, "I need you to do art, but don't think." And I'm like, "How am I not gonna think?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, dude, I was like 14, 15. You gotta explain things to me way different. Like, yeah, it was just, I know what you're talking about. She she was always asking if we knew any single older man because she was looking for like a boyfriend.
Okay, this is not the podcast.
This is
conversation.
I don't know.
That's a whole
this
is a different anime episode.
Different episode for that.
Yeah.
Okay. What you got, Ned?
Oh man, high school. So high school was cool. You know what's funny is I'm about to plug in Tokyo Revengers because the character I'm going to talk about, nickname is Mikey. And Mikey's this dude in the anime where he's the leader of this gang. I was obviously no leader of no gang. He's always serious until, you know, you actually know him or you're somebody's from his personal team with him. Like he's like a jokester. He's so much fun. But when it's time to get serious, like it's down to business, you know. And in this anime, he's running this high school gang. I think it's middle school, one of the two. He's running this gang, and you know he's always serious. But he has a best friend that every time he's with him, he's himself. But when he's around the gang, you know he's serious because it's about business. And in high school, I mean, I was always about having fun, just like he was. But I was always serious at the same time. I was always serious, but I was always joking. It's kind of weird. JL could tell you because JL probably spent the most time with me in high school, you know, with classes and stuff. And I was always joking, but I was always serious. Like no matter if, you know, people see me, they always thought I was serious, but you got to know me. It was always
I
fun.
knew Roland could just flip the switch either way when he wanted in any moment. But if he went too far left and got too hyped, there was no stopping him.
No.
There was a part of him that was very calm, but joking and kept everybody positive. But at the same time, he pushes his anger and his temper too far, you're going to get f***ed up. Sorry.
I remember Roland from freshman during science class, Mrs. Sneed class. And
I don't remember anything, man. Damn.
Yo, this dude out of nowhere, for some reason, she stopped teaching us, and we would just, it would have been like a free class for us, you know, free period. and you could hear Roland just like entertaining people, talking to people, be like chopping it up, and it was just like he was just like a light bulb. You know what I'm saying? Like in this whole room that was just like quiet, he would be the one that just bring that energy, and it was just a good laugh. That's all I remember from Roland.
That's because that's all I remember doing. Honestly, I don't think I ever like paid attention. Like I just remember trying to have all the fun I can have. Like
you passed by socializing somehow.
Yo, and by the only times like I was serious, like I was serious when somebody was like, yo, somebody, oh, okay, we gotta go handle something. I was in high school, I didn't really care. I was a hothead. So like this kid Mikey in Tokyo Revengers, same way. He's in school. He doesn't care. He's all about having fun, but he's all about his team too, like, oh, nobody's going to mess with the team. He does what he has to do. But yeah, definitely him. So if you don't know who I'm talking about, you should go check out Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, I got to watch that.
Yeah.
I've seen little clips here and there. It looks really good.
I mean,
it's decent.
It's like a play off of the other, the Netflix, the one that's on Netflix, the other time travel show, the old one. Who knows what I'm talking about?
Erased?
Yes, Erased. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that Scott compared it to. Like if you're looking for something to compare or describe Erase, he said Tokyo Revenger is the show to.
I like Tokyo Revenger's animation style for their face and the eyes. It's like some characters you can tell look Japanese, others look a little bit different than you would expect it to look in this style of show.
Give this a try.
But there's some funny facial animation.
It's very good.
Funny moments. Yeah, it is. It's a well balanced show. I was expecting a ton of action, let alone I was getting a bunch of plot, and I was still loving it. So.
Yeah, it's decent.
Scandalous.
So definitely check it out.
All right. So there you guys have it. We're 4 different people that chose not main character. Well, one of us have a main character lifestyle, but actually 2 of us had a main character lifestyle. But
yeah, all I said was I was not in school a lot. That's all I was saying.
He was
That's
fighting
just like
demons.
Ichigo. I was fighting demons, bro. Like just like Ichigo.
You're acting like you're a bunkai. You know what I'm saying?
And then I guess, I'm a little bit like, what's the kid from My Hero Academia who's like always running, like at the end, like
Lita?
No. Yeah, just like junior year.
Yeah.
That was like all about like being like straight A student. That's it. Like,
look at you, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Keeping everybody else composed. Guys, you shouldn't be doing that. Get out of here, Juan.
Right? Come on. Don't do that. Or do it, then I'll have the highest grade.
Yeah, do it.
I'm just plotting.
Oh, yeah. So before we end this segment, real quick, Roland, I don't know if you knew about this area, but between Professor and JL, did you guys ever jump over the rail in the back of this auditorium?
No.
All right, so a little bit more context. All right, got it. So in the back of the school auditorium, right, there was this room right next to where we did like music class and acting class for those who took those.
I had acting. I remember.
I had both. Thank you, God. So there was a room right behind the auditorium. Before they changed it to being like this workout area, there was like this big ass mattress that they placed right in the middle of the floor.
Oh, y'all used
stairways,
to jump.
and people would jump off that staircase rail.
Wow, motherfuckers, yo.
I'm not sure if you guys ever did it or no.
I was there for it. I never did it though.
You mean like they jumped like really high or they jump over it?
It was really high. It's like maybe like 2 storage of like.
Oh, I know. Like that's the room where they used to have like a boxing club in the 50s, right?
I believe so. Yes.
You can still see the stuff. No, I never saw that. They removed that.
I never been back there.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm surprised.
I don't know.
You know why I'm surprised?
Yeah, what's crazy? That wasn't me back then, yeah. I was too busy trying to fight. I was bugging.
Yeah, sure. Whatever, bro.
No. Like it wasn't like that. Like they have set up like it was a boxing. They had a boxing club in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, so you could see everywhere where like, like the ball that you hit, like everything's set up, right? But they took everything down, but they left the metal pieces there because as soon as they open the boxing club in high school, what happens? Everybody feels like they're fucking Rocky Marciano and they're fighting left and right. So there were too many fights, started calling the cops too much. They shut it down and then they just left it there. They were too lazy to take it down or do anything else with the room. That's how I saw it. Like I don't know if there was anything else in there before, but I didn't go to that room until I was a junior.
So track team would have used that area basically, and they had that big mattress. And the only reason why I know this vividly, because like during my freshman and sophomore year, I usually hang out with the juniors or senior. Like I just adapted to the group because I was like invisible, and I was there, and they dared me to try to jump. And when I say peer pressure is real, guys, it's real. And fortunately, I was just too of a scary cat to be able to do the jump. I couldn't jump because my one fear was that if I would have jumped, I was afraid that someone would have kicked the mattress to the side and it would have been there would have been no Shinobi Unfolding, basically. So
he would have been a Shinobi folded.
Wait, people kick the mattress?
But that's why I like to take a risk now, because I'm trying to compensate for that one time.
What'd you say?
No, people used to kick the mattress, because it sounds like you.
He was just saying that he'd feel like you didn't trust anybody in that school.
Oh,
I wouldn't trust them either. It'd be like, hey, do it, Jay. Like they finally want to do it, and then they pull the shit out.
People were attentive to, like, if someone would have done like a backflip, they were attentive to like move it or adjust it accordingly, so that way they didn't, fall out of place. So
sure, that's not the only thing people were doing on that mattress. By the way,
I was fear of more of the assholes who were trying to like mess up my life, because I was that kid. But anyway, that was fun. I like that. I like all of your picks, to be honest with you. Can't wait to watch Tokyo Revenger, Naruto. That's funny. And then Ida from My Hero Academia as well. That's really good stuff, guys. Really, really good stuff. But also talking about high school, one of our favorite, or one of the top, you could put in your top 10 anime listing of this generation, is the My Hero Academia. And not too long ago, a month ago, they released a beta version of a game, which is now more official and available to all OS and Android devices. The name of the game is called the My Hero Academia, The Strongest Hero. And I know that, OMK, were you able to play the game yet or no?
I was able to play it a little bit, probably like 15 minutes in.
Okay,
I only got to play as Deku, I think, as the first mission.
Yes. Yes. All right, perfect.
I was pretty OP. I was whooping everybody's ass.
Bro, okay, perfect. So FYI, it takes a while for the game to download, and then there's another like 5 to 10 minutes for the updates for you to have on your phone. So, OMK, please talk about that OP type of vibe during your missions. Like, how did you feel about the game? What's your thoughts?
I'll tell you this though, it looks pretty good. It runs pretty smooth too, so you can tell they put some time into it. I didn't get to play as much as JL and you, so I guess you guys will tell me how later the missions are, but it runs pretty good. It was smooth. The fighting is pretty fun. It's basically like hack and slash almost. You just punching everything. And what I was playing as Deku, like I was just hitting these combos. Like you get to hit these combos, and nobody was stopping me. Like nobody. So, and you get to play as other characters, so that's why I can't wait. Because I can't wait to play with everyone else, just because I was whooping ass. So, JL, how about you? Because you played a good amount.
Yeah, I probably played, I want to say, an hour and a half, maybe 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just did some digging for the first bit of time before I actually played it while I was updating, so I knew what I was getting into. It is, if you haven't played Smash Legends, it's got a similar control setup. You move your character with your left side on your touchscreen, and then the combos are on the right side. You can do basic attacks or special attacks as a dodge mechanic when an enemy's doing a range attack or a heavy unblockable, something like that. You either have to dodge in timing, you get a perfect counter afterwards, and then you can follow up with more combos from your selection. As Deku levels up, any other character, the more options are available. You can upgrade all your moves. There is a gotcha mechanic to it, so when you're hitting a certain point in the tutorial, it's like, oh, by the way, you can spend money on these coins to redeem these pay-to-win things. And as you're running around in the world, there's a bunch of Dekus everywhere, or different characters, whoever decides to pick which character. So you can see everybody playing whatever server you're in. There's like a auto mapping ability, not ability, but mechanic, where whatever quest you decide to be doing, you just press it on the map, the character automatically goes there, or you can free your own if you want, but it'd be more recommended to just kind of like press it in. If it's going to take a while to get there, you might as well like look at something else, or it's a decent game to multitask with in like the regular world, because there's so much going on the screen. Like as soon as the game starts, and there's some moments where there's so many things you're receiving, you don't get to quite catch it because the game is moving pretty quickly in the beginning. There's no real timers on reading all the instructions, but I mean, it's not a hard game to understand. There is a co-op mechanic to it where you can party up and you can take on missions with friends. You probably have to send them like a friend code or a friend invite. But overall, you know, I enjoyed my experience of it. They really lay out My Hero World. I think it's better than the beat 'em up that came out for the consoles. Yeah, absolutely. The graphics are good for a mobile game. I'm not really into mobile games. I stress that even though I'm streaming all the time and playing console games, I don't really play games on my phone. So the fact I can play it on my iPad pretty smoothly definitely makes me want to play it. And you know, it's not a hard game to grasp. Can't wait to try the other characters.
Bro, so
yeah, I need to download this game. I need to delete some memes. You know, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah.
I have
too many memes.
Too many memes on my
in
phone.
the Discord, bro. I'll store all of them.
There we go.
Please do that. My experience, you guys could definitely see it on my stream. You know what I'm saying? Twitch.tv/ the J Aglo show. Everything that you've seen in that clip is just like first time. I went blind, none like JL, who took time to do a little research just to see what the whole game is about. I just went like blind. I didn't know what to expect, how the game was going to be. I'm glad that it's landscape, which means more viewership, more 3D. If you're rocking with an iPhone XR or higher, or Android Pixel or higher, or S generation, you know, the Galaxy S generation, you're definitely
S Plus,
yes, you're definitely going to be able to appreciate the quality of the game itself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're using one of those cheap little phones that you get on the Metro, you ain't gonna really like it, brother.
No,
you know
not at all.
But yeah, button smashing style. I really agree with Roland. Like me being Deku, I was like, I kept giving that 2-piece combo, you know what I'm saying? And then the biscuit on the side. It was just like, and Deku have this one move, not even the smash. It's like he does like the speed up move, right? And then he'd slow it down and do like a whipping kick. And it does
he kind of dashes around.
Yeah, and then it not only hit like the guy that you're focusing on, but it also hit the dude on the side. So you're just like killing two birds with one stone. So like Deku, OP as F. But then I was able to unlock what's his name? Denki, the electrician
Kaminari.
Yes. And unfortunately, this dude has a limitation. Because once you use all of his like energy, that's it. He's out. He's like kaput. He doesn't do much, but he definitely does show like some promising moves, like stuff that we probably have not read in the manga or watched in the anime series. Watching it on the phone, this game, I'm like, bro, if this is him, I cannot wait to see what Todoroki, Bakugo, all these other cats could do. Because honestly, like. The game itself is dope. So please make sure you have the right equipment, the right phone to enjoy this awesome game. Because
don't think you can play it with trash, because it's not trash. It's a good game, and the details won't really pop out as much, you know.
Yes.
So my racer is not gonna do it.
No.
your sidekick.
Your iPod Nano is not gonna handle this well. Just so you know.
Also with the server too, if you join at a certain time period, these servers fill up quick. It took me about 2 minutes in order for me to find a slot. In order to see
the surprising part about that in the servers, if you go to the message board within whatever server you're on, most of the language I was seeing was either Brazilian or Hispanic, which I thought that was amazing to see that's the popular demographic for this game
at this time.
So it was the #1 action game when I tried to download it earlier, and it was the number 12 trending of all games on Google Play earlier.
I mean, today. You see My Hero. I mean, merchandising wise, it's just very, very reputable. You know, you see the title, you hear the music. You know, that iconic. You know, the horns.
They got what, like 3 movies already?
Yep.
This is the 4th one coming too.
I think the game that I was kind of ragging on, the console version beat 'em up. I forget the name of it. I think it was something Heroes. I don't know. If you could find out, Jay.
Yep.
Jay, you want to pull that up?
It's the one on the Switch, right?
trash.
It is trash. It's the one
It
on the
is,
Switch.
yeah, because it was
Don't
just like
matter.
Naruto, Ninja Storm, or one of those. You know, it was just
But like the
copying the same
first one.
formula.
But like the
Yeah.
first one, not even like
Injustice.
the last ones. Yeah.
Injustice, yeah, it was a terrible third person beat 'em up, and they definitely didn't execute right. This game as a phone game is just wildly impressive, you know, for what it is. It still has the pay to win aspect to it, which I completely ignore when I play games like that. And if I do decide to invest in it, it's usually a game with like a season pass or some DLC like Valhalla that I've been waiting for. Like I bought the season pass for that game. That was like a $100 Assassin's Creed title, and it was totally worth it because the DLC is dope. But the pay to win in a game like that, especially because there's a PvP aspect where you're fighting other players, that's where it kind of gets like, all right, I'm facing these guys. Sure, I could go off and grind and get my character leveled up, but these guys have like way crazy abilities and costumes, and you know, I still have the basic stuff. So eventually, you'll hit that cliffhanging point where you're going to decide if you're going to, you know, buy the gold or not.
Continue or not.
And
Yeah.
also, there's another game that came for Nintendo too. It's called My Hero Academia Battle Up for All.
Mhm.
It was like similar to like X-Men versus Capcom type of format.
Oh,
The
okay.
fighting game.
Fighting
Yeah,
game?
that's the one.
Okay.
That's the one that I've seen. I don't. Maybe I didn't see the other one, but
The other one is called One Justice, which was the one that JL just broke down, which was
was
it
that a
on
fighting game too, or no?
Yeah, but it was like kind of like Naruto Ninja
PS4,
Storm.
Xbox. It show how much they're trying to get more audience.
Look
to
up some
be-
videos after the podcast, and you'll be again, God, I didn't play that because it just even frame by frame, the hit contact, the animations, it's kind of corny and like it's kind of clunky at the same time. It's really not fluid. This phone game, I mean, the only clunky part I would say is when you're moving your character around. Sometimes, I mean, Jay was in the story moment where he's walking really slow, but that was for story aspect. You know, that was that moment where he just has his head down and he's like sad because he has no powers. You saw that as well, Roland. But when you're in the world fighting, at least when you have opponents in front of you, it's kind of hard to try and move out of the way. So you have to anticipate, move steps ahead, and then plan your attack from there. You know, so
Or
that's
just
the
go
only thing
raw.
I have. Is yeah, or just
That's all I was
just go in swinging.
I was like 2 P's biscuit, pop, pop, and that's all I've been doing.
biscuit, biscuit,
Facts.
gravy.
But so far I think what I'm gonna do, and I'm not sure of you guys, but I would like to invest maybe another hour or two to see how far I could go because
For sure, Will.
because one thing I noticed is that special character like Gravity Girl, you could unlock her if you paid for like the $5. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying. That's that gotcha mechanic moment.
And I'm
like, here's the game, and then here's the real game.
And I was like, yo, you're a bunch of sucker. You know what I'm saying? you guys deal with that. I'm working hard to get, you know, the Red Harden. You know what I'm saying? That dude is like, I'm like 2 levels away of unlocking him.
You know what we could do as well, is since it is co-op, we could get a Discord voice chat and then play the game, and you can stream it. I don't know. I can't stream it with my setup just because it would take too much on my iPad. But yeah, we could definitely do that.
Oh, we would definitely do that. We got to schedule it and post it, whoever's streaming, just have a good time. Because I'm not sure what's the max for the co-op, but hopefully it's enough.
I'm not sure either, but we'll find out.
We'll do investigation and coming soon in your nearest stream near you. So, guys, we have talked about an entrepreneur. We talked about high school. We talk about the My Hero Academia game, and sadly, our journey is about to be an end. So, as I mentioned before, for those who have been listening, we are going to give you our review of one anime we recommend to you, so that way you could, you know, be in our level, or you could write down in the comments below and to recommend us some stuff that you agree or disagree with. So, while you guys think of that one anime you would like to agree with our audience, please remember to follow us on our social media. We're on the Facebook, Instagram, we are on the YouTube, and as well as on the Twitter, the Shinobi Unfolding, as well as our audio podcast is posted on Sundays around 1 p.m. Eastern time, and the video will be posted on Wednesday morning for your visual entertainment. And to start off, one anime I would like to recommend my viewers is Kenichi The Mightiest Disciple. This anime, I believe, was announced as being added on to Funimation, which this is a really big deal in a sense because Funimation is, a very popular streaming service app. It was living in Amazon Prime, and basically the storyline is this high schooler. He was a nobody, right? But he loved to appreciate the fighting, you know what I'm saying? And basically he, picked a fight with the bully of the school, and he was like, all right, I don't know how to fight you, but he met this one girl, a special girl, who told him this one move. And from that one move, things start to get crazy. He was picked up by the School of Master, where you see these 6 people: master of weapon, master of karate, master of appa, master of the elbows and knees fighting style. I forgot what it's called.
Muay
Thai. Thank you. Master of kung fu, and the overall grandfather master himself. These legends teaches him, and jujitsu too. I forgot about the dude of jujitsu who is also a doctor. These people teach him all of basic technique, and this guy become one of the baddest fighters ever. It's only about 50 plus episode because it leaves you with a cliffhanger. Sorry for the spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler. But it definitely leaves you with that cliffhanger that you want to read the manga, and it goes even deeper. So that is my recommended anime for y'all. Kenichi's The Mightiest Disciple. Professor, what you got?
Anime that came out a couple of years ago. It only has 1 season. Season 2 has kind of been hinted, but hopefully if more people watch it, I think might try to push it forward, and that is Vinland Saga. If you have Amazon Prime, amazing anime about Vikings and just about
the Shinobi approved.
Yeah, it is a Shinobi approved. Big battles, also great story, great characters. We need to see season 2. So if you haven't watched it, you got some time to catch up with it.
You think you know who's the main character, but you really have no idea.
Because we don't.
We didn't. We did not.
Now we look bad.
OMK.
Tokyo Revengers.
That is.
I've been saying it all episode. Please check it out. Yo, it's awesome. Check out my boy Mikey and Draken. They're not even the main character. That's the crazy part. The main character is like Simonichi or some guy, which I guess he's cool, but whatever. Which definitely check it out. Time travel stuff, you gotta love it. Emotional stuff too. It's good.
Time travel's messy too, so the fact they're controlling it very well means it's a good show.
It's crazy,
Avengers tried to fix it. It's just like, okay, you Back to the Future did. Okay, cool. This is not doing that at all. There's repercussions and everything.
Absolutely. Every time something happens, something changes. So you know how it goes.
Ripple effect. What you do now.
And you said that's later. On Crunchyroll. I'm gonna start.
Yes, sir.
That is on Crunchyroll. Yeah, Juan. They're actually pretty quick episodes too. Like it's a good frame of time, but you're very involved mentally because you have so many questions. So let us know what you think later on.
All
right, and save one of the best for last. JL, what you got?
First and foremost, just want to thank everybody that does come out to my Twitch stream. It's been a dope thing. I mentioned it last season that I wanted to do something different. I didn't really picture it becoming this thing, but it's pretty dope. We recently went affiliate. You can check me out, twitch.tv/FitChefStreams with a Z. You can see it right there, or right there, or right there, wherever I am, down there. My recommendation, and Lou mentioned it last episode, very subtly, and I'm just so into it. On the low, I love Fire Force. I really do. Fire Force season 2 really brought the pain. I mean, those animators and those story writers know what they're doing. I don't think it gets enough respect, and it's not in the popular selection on Crunchyroll anymore because a lot of other things are going on. One Piece is still hanging right there in the 1 and 2 spot. Jujutsu had it, But Fire Force deserves to be up there. From an animation point of view, when things crank up, man, the audio, I always mention audio in anime because when you can express sounds like flames and explosions and contact and speed in such ways that, you know, make you anxious for the next thing that's about to happen, they just do it so well. They do it the way that One Punch Man does their fights, you know. It's really high grade shit. And when it cranks up in season 2, the supporting cast that comes together, my man Benny Maru, if you have not seen his fight scenes, my goodness. Like, you see him in season 1, valid badass. You see him in season 2, you didn't think he could get stronger. So it makes you question, how strong is he actually? He's stronger than the main character. Easily.
Who's he again? Who's
Benny
he again?
Maru was the guy that he would bring up all those, like, they looked like broomsticks, but he turned them into missiles with his pyrokinesis, and he starts blowing up his own village. And he got
like long hair,
like, red eyes, kind of.
I only watched season 1, but he's my favorite character. So
he looked like a samurai. He looks like an old school samurai.
He is basically a samurai. Yeah. He blows up his own village, and his people are okay with it because as a celebration. Because they're just going to rebuild it all happy because they know he protects them. They know when he's there on the scene, it's go time, and they're going to be okay. And he says he does it in season 2. He pairs up with somebody, and you don't expect it. And there's so many turns, and the season just so good. So if you haven't watched Fire Force season 1, you need to, because season 2 is even better.
Just a little detail about that too. When they did what they did, right? They tried to poison Benji. And he was knocked out, and you know the guy.
And he wasn't.
The guy next to him would be like, "Oh, that's what really took." Okay, so it's up to me. And Benji just like shook it off. He just got up,
I'm okay
brushed it
now.
off, and he'd be like, "All right, it's like this."
And then with his 2 hands, the things he accomplished, craziness,
bro,
craziness. You need to watch.
That dude's a beast.
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
Like, honestly, Sephiroth level badass.
Ooh.
Oh, I went there.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay. Well, guys, to end it up with that hype right there. Shinobi Unfolding season 5. We appreciate everybody listening through. Thank you again, OMK, Professor JL. You guys going to continue hearing them soon. Hopefully next week we get one of the OGs to show up and him spitting some knowledge and keeping it entertaining for you guys. So thank you for staying tuned. One love, stay strong. Peace. Sayonara. And we out.